Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Illusion of Gaia. In the last part we did the first dungeon in the game at the castle's prison, and now we're going to continue on and see what we can do now. First off, this is the worst guard ever because, well, hit the right button first. He's asleep! Of course, you've come. Thank you. Was the guard asleep outside? His nickname is Old Snorehead. Sleeping again. Your little pig has come. His name is Hamlet. Cute, isn't he? He's very smart. He has some kind of strange pig power. What? Please, take me out of here. I don't think they ever bring up that strange pig power again. Yet again, this, like I said last part, and I think even part 1, this game's translation is rather shoddy. Anyway, if you head to the entrance, Carol will say we need something really quick, so I head down here and investigate this barrel for really slow scrolling text. And we found a large, yummy, roast leg of yak. That actually sounds really good right now. I'm hungry. Kinda reminds me of that time in Metal Gear Solid where I made a sandwich during a cutscene. Everything's ready. Let's go before the soldiers find us. So now we can exit safely. At last we leave. Let's go to your house. I'm worried about your grandparents. And we hurry back to our place. I will say one of the parts of the game that kind of drags on is the map screen, because you're controlling well for every other section of the game, but then this just happens automatically. If it was one of those maps where you can move yourself, I'd have no problem with it, though. Especially if there were hidden areas, that'd be nice. But what? Who had a party while I was gone? Bill and Lola? What's happened? It's awful. Who would do such a thing? My grandparents? Grandpa Bill? Grandma Lola? I'll look upstairs. And there's nothing of worth investigating down here, so just head right upstairs. Oh, Will, come here quick. It's terrible, terrible. What happened? Look at the wall. This mark, a jackal. The jackal's here. Jackal? He's the hunter hired by my mother. I think she mentioned him either last part or the part before. I think it was in part 1. An evil man who will stop at nothing. Once he starts after you, there's no stopping him. He has no regard for human life. My grandpa and grandma. Oh, hey, this person again. Don't worry, you two. You're the one who... Who are you? I'm Will's friend. Lilly, do you know anything about this? It's okay, your grandpa and grandma are safe. They're in my village. Your village? Italy village. I've never heard of this village. Naturally, my village has a barrier around it. Ordinary people like you can't see it. Let's go, Will. Okay. I'm going too. It's far too dangerous for a princess. You can't stop royalty. I do whatever I want. Typical of a princess. And you can just leave these two to their devices, essentially. Although, if you want an idea of what to do, if you talk to Lilly here, she does say you can meet the townspeople for one last conversation. Though, really, it's kinda pointless. However, I'm meeting you back up here because first off I went back to dark space to get healed. But I want to give all the 4 red gems I have to Gem here because we can get a reward for doing that at this point. And for collecting over 5 jewels, our defense power raises. I think I mentioned it before, but once you get a reward, you have that forever. The only one that really doesn't last is the herb. Because herbs are one-use things, and there is a limited amount, because there are no shops in this game. So, pretty much, keep as many on you as you can, because other than that, you only have the rare drops that you can get from enemies, and Dark Gaia to heal. Dark Gaia. Gaia to heal you. This is not Sonic Unleashed me. Oh, that's right, there's text on screen. Pretty much, we're heading over to Lilly's village. Kara said something, and for some reason, Lilly thinks it's gonna be hardship. And now they're having a cat fight. I'd read this out, but I missed the start of the conversation, so me just starting it after doing it kind of seems pointless. Now, this choice here, a lot of the dialogue choices in this game do absolutely nothing, so just choose whatever you want. I like being the weird guy who's just like, I'm going to the village. Laters. Now, keep in mind the distance that this place is from South Cape. And we get here within like an hour. Kind of holes in logic right there. But there's nothing here! Then again, this is my village, but you're probably surprised that there are no houses. Well, you are a flower of sorts, so I guess you guys can make homes in the grass. And she's gonna make us do the long and drawn-out animation of Lola's melody again. Thankfully, they never really have you use this much. Just these 3 or 4 times at the beginning, then once right towards the end, as far as I can remember. And suddenly houses. Were you surprised? There's a barrier around my village. Most people can't see it. You've already said this. The princess is getting to be a bother. Well, that jumped out of nowhere. On the road, all I heard was, my feet hurt. I'm thirsty. I'm tired of hearing it. I can't help it. My feet hurt. Oh, okay. Well, come with me. I'll show you my house. That's what the objective is, but one thing I want to do really quickly first is that if you investigate the middle sets of these logs over here, you actually have to be a bit more towards the left of it, though. Well, hit the right button first, obviously. You find a red jewel. So I'm actually going back to South Cape for the last time, we're never going to be here again, to give this the gem, because doing so will increase our life by 1 point. Although they say it increases your strength, which is wrong. So now we're heading back to the village. And our grandparents are still alive, and I just realized that our grandfather has blue hair. And that makes sense now, wow. So essentially, they barely escaped Jackal, and Lola destroyed their digestion with a poisoned marsupial pie. You are a terrible person! I don't even want to know what kind of animal you killed to make that. Essentially, you can look around the village and talk to various people here to get some backstory on the Ittery, but I've never done that to begin with. I only know you can do that via walkthroughs and such, so I'm just going to skip that. You can do it if you want, though, if you're playing along. But the big thing of importance here is this Dark Space Gateway. Like when we first met Frieden, there is a statue in here. And whenever you see a statue off to the left that's not Frieden or Will if you're playing as Frieden so you can transform back into him, you will get an upgrade. In this case, we got the Psycho Dash. Only young Will can use the Psycho Dash. You can smash walls and obstacles by hurling yourself against them. Use the attack button to save energy. So, to make that sound more concrete, essentially what the Psycho Psycho Dash is, well, first off, run down this, don't walk, because otherwise you won't be able to get that momentum that somehow carries you across that gigantic pit. You hold down the A button, and will start glowing green. And if you release after a certain point, he'll charge forward for a brief second, and can cause mass damage. And there's a random voice, and apparently there's a flower elder in the flowers here. He reveals some basic stuff, the flower spirit, which is never mentioned again after this point, by the way. And apparently he knew our father. Our mother, apparently, is actually from this village, and that would mean our grandparents are as well. Apparently, we are half-Italy. Our mother was a specifically strong one. In fact, she's the one who made the barrier that hid the town, but somehow our father made it through it. Essentially, he's giving us the ability to get the Incan statue, which is in the cave below. The other one's held by the Moon Tribe. We need those to progress onwards with the game. Yeah, the story is not the strong point here. So anyway, to demonstrate the Psycho Dodge, hold down the A button and he will begin growing green. When he does it that rapidly, you know he's about to ready to go. Anyway, if you hit that section of the wall, it sounds a bit different than the rest, so Psycho Dodge into it and it somehow explodes. And we can get Incan Statue number 1 of 2. Incan Statue A! Ooh! Weird energy aside, we do need these to progress onwards, so make sure you get them. Luckily, they are really in your path. Oh, by the way, this next part right here where Lola and Bill are on screen, that's the last time you'll ever see them in the game. They aren't of any importance from here on. What? Moon Tribe? I know, not a tribe, more like a strange shadow form. A high mountain peak near here has become their home. Shall we go? Okay, I'll lead. I'm going too. I want to see the Moon Tribe. Since I escaped the confinement of the castle, I want to see and hear everything. No, it's too dangerous for princesses. If you don't want to bother Will, just wait here quietly. I seem to be the only one left out. So I'll talk to Grandma Lola. Nya. Well, excuse me, princess. She's sulking. It's good medicine for a selfish girl. The mountain pass will be difficult, but let's do the best we can. And by that, we mean they're gonna take us there automatically. There's no dungeon to that at all. And welcome to the Moon Tribe. Moob? Moon Tribe camp. Camp. I can't speak. And it's thankfully small, though I love the music here. The music also reminds me a bit of, Donkey Kong Country. And here are the tribes themselves. Well, actually, we don't know they're the tribe yet. Sorry. Though, this is them. And these are all wrong answers. I don't get the names, though. Cotton Candy's relative, what? Although that might be a person back in South Cape. Talking to them will reveal basic information, like where there's light there are shadows, we have more who were changed by being bathed and limed only once, blah 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 blah. They do kind of foreshadow some things, like the guy in the top left foreshadows the ending slightly. And this guy tells us that the Incan statue we need is in the cave below, but we're going to have to go through a test to get it. Just basic information, really philosophical stuff, it doesn't really matter. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And next time on Let's Play Illusion of Gaia, we'll be continuing on into that cave right there and doing the test that the guy in the top left wants us to do. See you guys then.